FTW. You mad? FT. Holy crap, the action's starting already. This Ezreal's getting pressured big time by jungle Alistar, getting chased down. Wow, popping the health pot there with the ignite, flashing over the dragon is Victor. Victor, unable to secure the kill there, forced to pull back. Looks like Blitzcrank turned him around. How's it going? FTW Broadcasting here, bringing you high ELO featured action. A lot of people ask, what ELO are people that are in these games? On average, I look up the players. On average, they're about 2,100 ELO, something like that. Attempted grab there by Blitzcrank. Blitzcrank way out of position, forced to go to the back of the dragon, gonna pop that flash to save his life. Also casting this sucker on TGN Cult. If you're watching this thing on FTW Broadcasting, give it a thumbs up, my friends. If you're watching on TGN Cult, unleash your hatred and your anger, and give it a thumbs down for me. I'd appreciate it. Let's go ahead and talk about these matchups. On the blue team, we've got this Ezreal in a bad position. I don't think Alistar is going to dive that. We've got Ezreal in the bottom lane as the AD carry, alongside Blitzcrank. Blitzcrank, one of my favorite carries, as you guys know, who watch Procast quite often. I love Blitzcrank. He's a game changer. He changes the game throughout the entire game. Sick. Nice job with the arcane shift there, dodging that one. We missed a first blood in the middle lane, so let's check that out. But the Blitzcrank Ezreal combo in the top lane, gonna be fantastic for burst damage. Early aggression is the way to do it, connecting with the Dark Binding, and boom, Victor goes down. Amumu just waiting. With the Dark Binding, it makes it so easy for Amumu to hop in there with his double buff and nail that bandage toss. Anyway, this Alistar looks like he's seen in the bushes here. I see multiple pings, and Blitzcrank just charges and face checks that bush, just waiting to get popped up by Alistar. Unfortunate there. I don't think he knew he was there. I think that was a red team ping. Ezreal trying to do some damage along the other side. Blitzcrank able to survive so much early game action. This is a really aggressive Alistar early game, but we're starting to see this more and more. He was spotted there because there's wards from both the teams in that triangle bush. Looks like this Alistar is pretty much doomed. Morgana does not have enough mana to connect with the Dark Binding. This Alistar is going to be depending, on the Death Ray there from Victor. So let's see if they're able to turn this thing around. Alistar, boom, getting taken out by that clutch bandage toss. Victor could secure this kill right now, though he probably will. This is a bloodthirsty red team and blue team. Blue team getting especially thirsty right now. Graves, can he secure it on Blitzcrank? No. Ezreal picking up the kill. I just missed it because I was watching the action down low. Looks like Ezreal picked up a kill here in a moment. Let's see if he's able to get... If anybody can pick up this kill right now, it'll be Ezreal. Just one move is all we need from Ez. And boom, there it is, picking up that kill, securing it. Up 3-1 is the blue team. This is craziness right now. It's hard for me to do analysis with all of this aggression. You know, something we're seeing that's becoming more and more popular is floating. In high elo matches, floating is becoming more popular, especially mid floats and AD bottom floats. We're seeing a lot of mids head up to the top lane to assist in ganks up top, and we're seeing a lot of ADs in the bottom lane slide up to that middle lane to assist there. So I like it. It provides us with more action. So in the bottom lane, the matchup that they're up against down there is a Janna Graves combo. Janna Graves, a great combo. Graves, the one AD in this game that doesn't necessarily need a heal and a sustained support on board to get his job done. Obviously, that's because of his passive, which gives him armor and magic resist the longer he's in combat. Because of his passive and because of his scaling into mid-game and mid-late game, I think that Graves still is the best AD in the game, simply because of that sustainability. And, you know, it's almost counterintuitive. All ADs in this game have to play timid. They have to play passive. Graves do not. So anyway, with that Janna shield, Graves can be really dangerous with the bonus armor and damage. However, going to be easily countered by the burst damage of Blitzcrank and Ezreal if they're able to connect on some grabs. So let's see how this shakes out. Amumu headed up to the top lane. Let's talk about this top lane matchup just a little bit. Riven can do pretty well against Akali, especially if you can get some vision wards on board. The missed bandage toss there because of the Matrix-like flash. Riven, one of the hardest champs in the top lane to actually connect with a gank. I don't know if Alistar is going to be able to effectively gank this top lane and how active Alistar is going to want to be ganking this top lane. Riven having 2 fantastic escape mechanisms with the jump, jump, jump of Broken Wings, in addition to the Valor. Alistar is going to have to essentially flash pop-up to connect with anything with the solid headbutt right after that. It's going to be tough. It's really going to be tough for Alistar to make anything happen in the top lane. Riven's going to have to make some mistakes. If one bandage toss connects right now, though, Amumu will be able to secure a kill. Here it is. Boom, there's the connect. Can Awall correctly predict this? Yes, he can. Good job, Awall, and fantastic job, Amumu. Amumu in the jungle. How is he going to match up with, say, an Alistar? Personally, I think Amumu is a stronger jungle. I think late game, Alistar can be a huge factor as obviously arguably the best tank in the game. However, I think that Amumu was designed, he really was designed from the ground up to be a jungler. He's got a superior ganking ability with Bandage Toss. He's got amazing sustainability. And of course, arguably, he's got the best ultimate of the game with Curse of the Sad Mummy, Bandage Toss in, AoE everyone, and then Sad Curse of the Mummy to stun the entire team. I really think that between Amumu's CC and his superior ganking ability, he is better than Alistar in the woods. That's my opinion. I think that Alistar right now, given the current meta and given the current balance, Alistar is better suited to be a support bottom. Though he is a viable jungle, he's a better support bottom in my opinion. I feel like Alistar would be better to support this Graves. Connecting with the grab, can Graves get away? Just look how beefy he is. He can take all those hits and still survive. It doesn't matter though. Ezreal able to connect, Ezreal able to secure that kill, flashing into the Power Fist. Highly aggressive, but this is the way you've got to play it against a Janna Graves combo. You can't let yourself get bullied, and you can't let those Janna tornadoes push you out of your own farm. Oh, Matrix dodging that ultimate there from Ezreal. You can't let Janna's tornadoes and Graves' buckshot push you out of the lane and essentially zone you out of farm that is rightfully yours. So highly aggressive Blitzcrank is a good decision. Let's talk about the mid matchup. Between Victor and Morgana, Morgana gonna be the superior mid. There's a reason why Morgana's banned all the time and Victor is not, and that's simply because Morgana has Dark Binding, which is arguably some of the best CC in the game. There's the best ultimate in the game in my opinion. Boom, that's all it takes. A quick little flash into an ultimate, and look at Amumu, he's a freaking ganking master. I love him. But anyway, Morgana, the strongest move Morgana has, in my opinion, Black Shield. I mean, the fact that she's able to prevent moves from actually hitting her is just such an advantage versus any APs in the mid lane. I know it's a very basic commentary there, but really I think that is the #1 factor as to why she's so powerful. Her ultimate can be amazing along with the Zhonya's, but the Black Shield with the clutch saves and also in the laning phase can negate most APs in the game. So anyway, let's see how that matchup happens. I really think that Victor is going to be hard-pressed, and clearly he knows it. He's picking up 3 Dorn Rings already. 3 Dorn Rings already because he knows he's in a very tough matchup in this middle lane. Blue team's already up by 5 kills and has a 3k gold advantage at the 9-minute mark. It's pretty gross. Right now, Alistar and Ezreal sort of in a tough position. Janna, what the hell is Janna doing? She just sat there idle during that entire fight. She dropped her shield right on top of Graves, but there was a total lack of support. Of course, in the end, it was an even exchange because both ADs picked up the kills they needed. I don't know what that Janna was doing. Janna does have the level 1 tornado. The tornado not coming into play, maybe she lagged. I honestly don't know what the hell she was doing there. That was kind of weird, kind of disappointing. Regardless, is this Blitzcrank gonna get aggressive? Janna having to shield herself. Gonna take some creep damage, but nothing too major gonna happen there. Alistar getting caught out of position. Let's see if a Dark Binding can connect here. Dark Binding was on cooldown. That's what initiated that fight. And Victor, one little death ray will take him out. Victor picking up the kill on Morgana. Victor needed that, but now this Amumu is starting to beast. Amumu with 3 kills, Ezreal with 3 kills as well. You don't want Amumu to get fed, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, the last champ in the game other than Master Yi that you want to get fed is Ezreal. He snowballs like a beast, ultimating to save her own life, but it's just not going to work out. Ezreal, no, not securing the kill, blowing the Summoner skill heal to save herself there. Excellent choice. Nice job connecting on the tornado. But this aggression from Ezreal and Blitzcrank in the bottom lane is working out pretty well. Let's take a look at their farm. Graves with 55 farm, though. Nice. Connecting with that kill there with that ultimate from Ezreal. Ezreal is behind in CS in comparison to Graves, but it doesn't matter. He's farming champs as opposed to creeps right now, and 4 kills is going to be great for him. Graves has 2 deaths. Graves probably going to score a kill here, blowing his ultimate. No, unable to. Pushing Ezreal back, though. What he needs to do, and what they both need to do, really, Janna and Graves, is start zoning Ezreal. Use those tornadoes to their advantage, and start picking up these bushes. These bushes have been dominated by Blitzcrank and Ezreal the whole game, and Janna needs to start sending some tornadoes up there and really claim her territory for her AD. Morgana's ultimate was able to connect with the stun portion. The Dark Binding seals the deal again. Victor in rough shape. And once again, this Amumu continuing to prove my point that Amumus are disgusting in the jungle. With his double buff, he's nearly unstoppable. Picking up his lucky pick, so it's a little bit more of an AP-oriented Amumu build right now. Not going pure tank yet. What I've seen a lot of Amumus do at high level, they're going to go ahead and pick up some early game AP with that Doran's Ring with a little lucky pick, and then pick up some tanking items to move straight into late game. No. This is going to be an AP Amumu, looks like all the way, picking up his needlessly large rod already. Amumu's moves do, most of them do scale with AP regardless, so if you are successful as an Amumu, if you are successfully ganking, you're not getting taken out too often, there's not a lot of counter jungle going on, the AP build can be advantageous. Unable to secure that kill there on Ezreal, allowing Blitzcrank to get the grab right on the tower to pick up that Janna kill. This bottom lane is being dominated by Blitzcrank. Honestly, I'm surprised. From a pure matchup perspective, Janna plus Graves equals greater than Blitzcrank plus Ezreal in my opinion, but right now, that Janna is really not doing her job. She's not zoning. That bandage toss barely missing there. And Alistar deciding to pull back. Why? Well, I guess she knew that Morgana was coming. There's a little -70 on the map the whole time. Freaking glitches in the spectator mode. Anyway, I don't think that they're going to dive this Alistar on the tower. That would be unwise. But here's that float that we're talking about, that mid-float that we're starting to see become more popular. And Morgana can do it just as well as anyone else. If she's able to float and then connect with the Dark Binding, she can really... Oh man, that creep barely saved Alistar's life there. But regardless, here comes Victor for some collateral damage. The mana shield, or I'm sorry, the black shield really coming into play, connecting with the ultimate again on Victor, flashing into the Baron so that Amumu could pick up the kill. Amumu in a tough spot, but it doesn't matter. Look at this Riven with the jump, flash, Kai burst into the ultimate, hopping into the situation, passive all filled up. The ultimate beefing up the attack damage of this Riven, just eager to get a kill. I think he's going to be able to secure one on this Akali. No, securing one on Janna instead because Morgana's assist. Now this Akali's in terrible shape. I think that they should just straight up dive this. But if Akali goes into stealth mode, if you will, on the tower, it could equal a mistake, so waiting for the creeps to come in. This Akali's more or less just biding his time. He is stealthed. If he's able to sort of bait here and get the tower to target, maybe he can secure a kill. Yes, turning it around to Morgana. Boom! Nice job securing that securing the kill with the ultimate. But of course, Riven there to pick up the pieces, to clean up the mess. This blue team is way out on top. Right now. And why? The question is why? It's the superior ganks from Amumu are snowballing that top lane, are snowballing the mid lane, and really the bottom lane is just handling itself. Blitzcrank doing a fantastic job supporting this Ezreal, and really we're not seeing any advantage being pressed in any of the positions from the red team right now. They really need to pull it together. So I think what the red team needs to do is hole up, work on being defensive, and work on getting their Graves fed as hell. If this Graves gets a little out of control, if he starts getting towards 150 CS once we get towards the 20-minute mark, he can start really making a difference in these team fights. However, they cannot let him die anymore, and this Blitzcrank and Ezreal are keeping him zoned. We are seeing a Vision Ward here in the Triangle Bush to prevent any more ganks, any more of those really effective Amumu ganks. That's a really nice move and a really good decision by this Janna. This is what we like to see. This is what we normally see with the Janna, right? Janna dominating the bottom bush, pushing the other team against their own tower. The X factor in this situation, of course, is pushing Blitzcrank against his own tower, gives him the chance to pull you into it. That's why Blitzcrank, a lot of people think that Blitzcrank, there's no real way to balance him or to fix him. He's either underpowered or overpowered, and with the grab, just making him, always making him a factor. Double kill again from Ezreal. How many games am I going to cast where Ezreal just snowballs the crap out of the game and just becomes such a huge factor? Moving into late game, 6 kills for this Ezreal, 4 for Riven, 4 for Amumu. Blue team's got to be happy right now, smiling ear to ear. Alright guys, folks out there watching the cast that are 2,000 plus ELO, if you've recorded any games using ELO Replay, I can cast them, and we can cast them on our Procast series. Send them to ftwbroadcasting at gmail.com. We only want 2,000 plus ELO games, and we need them to be June 2012 or more recent. Why? Because replays from June through 2012 forward are compatible with spectator mode. Right now, I'm just casting games that are featured within the Riot navigation. A lot of these are snowball games because that's typically what happens in League of Legends, right? One team is just vastly more skilled than the other, and generally these featured games are solos. So, as you guys know who play solo, I play pretty much all solo in my ranked games. It's generally snowball one way or the other, to be honest. You maybe 1 in 4 or 5 games. Post in the comments if you agree. But maybe 1 in 4 or 5 games is actually a pretty even matchup as you move forward. Really, those big even matchups are coming from your pre-mates. And not too often are you seeing the pre-mates just straight up playing regular ranks. They're generally playing custom games and doing scrimmages versus other semi-pro and pro teams. That's pretty much how it shakes out. That's how our pro contacts with TGN have told us they like to do it and how they like to practice. One thing that's interesting about the Riven in the top lane, not picking up even, despite the major advantage and the major CS advantage here. Well, it's actually not a CS advantage. Akali, I'm sorry, the major gold advantage. Akali does have a 104 CS. But I'm surprised to see this Riven not picking up an Oracle to just basically completely negate this Akali and to push Akali back. Riven would be advised to pick that up, but regardless, Akali's going to continue to farm, and this is what the red team needs. They need their Akali to farm, and they need their Graves to farm, and they need to play passively. And notice how they're more or less taking my advice. The red team's not pushing past any of their towers anymore. They're down by 13 kills. Oh, the flash ultimate though, Victor! Victor going down again. Oh my goodness, he didn't have a chance there. Between the potential grab, dark binding, bandage toss, Ezreal burst, he was, what's the French word? Fucked. I should probably bleep that one out, but he was, and I don't think you guys are gonna disagree. All right, guys. Yeah, this red team needs to pull out of the woods. Alistar getting pushed out of his own woods, unable to farm properly. And one thing that we're seeing here from the red team is a lack of team coordination. Are they seeing what's going on here? We don't have a red ward by the Baron, but they can only infer that they're here at Baron. Let's see if Akali's able to sweep in and see what's up. This Baron's going down pretty quickly, but there's an HP dilemma right now. The Blitzcrank and the Morgana are not here to help. This is prime time territory. Red could be stealing the crap out of this and getting a triple kill. Oh, if Akali only knew. If Akali only knew. But it is the 20-minute mark, which is a fairly early Baron. This ward right here did spot movement towards the Baron. This ward right here did as well, but they didn't know they were at Baron. Normally people start to ward Baron at about the 20-minute mark. Higher level teams will start to ward at about the 17-minute mark, and there's the early surrender. What the hell happened? Why the hell did this snowball occur? I gotta say, it's all about that Amumu this game. It's all about the Amumu and the bottom lane domination. Amumu caused the snowball in the top and the mid lane. And not to mention the blue team was doing a great job of floating. It was what I was talking about pre-game. We're seeing a lot of floating from the mid to the top and the bottom to the mid. Take advice. If you have a champ that's good at ganking, or at least halfway decent at ganking, float. Give it a shot. Even if you aren't good at ganking, popping out and just scaring those lanes, especially in low to mid elo games, will make those lanes more timid and will allow your allies to farm more effectively. And one thing that I want to comment on here, you guys might disagree with me in the comments. You might totally disagree with me. I think Alistar is not as strong as he is in the bottom lane as a support as he is in the jungle. Really, I think Alistar's place in high-level games is in the bottom lane, but regardless, it's always fun to see Alistar in the jungle. You can see some epic plays from him. I disagree with that. Regardless, thank you so much for watching, guys. If you're watching on FTW Broadcasting, give it a thumbs up. TGN Cult, give it a thumbs down. Strike this video down with your hatred and anger. And like I said earlier, submit your 2,000 plus ELO games to ftwbroadcasting@gmail.com. Just email your replay as an attachment to the email. Include your player name. We're going to look you up ahead of time to make sure you're high ELO to ensure that. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Playlist up in the top left, yellow link. Channel up in the top right, yellow link. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next cast.
FTW.